Hey there gardeners, Chris from Steading here today, and I wanted to talk about spring because it is the first day of spring, and I thought we'd have a look at some of the stuff which is really going quite well for those very early stages. I'm in the subtropics, I'm in northern New South Wales, so obviously it is warmer here. For people who are further south, they are probably still waiting for a lot of the growth and the explosive kind of bloomage that I'm seeing, and this isn't just me showing off, but I'm pretty excited about some of the things that we've got going really well, including this mulberry. Now, while we've got some chatoot mulberries, which are like a fancy mulberry, this is just the regular old mulberry tree. And as you can see here, this has been going quite well. I'd say probably about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It has really come out with new growth. It has got mulberries all over it. I did put a ring mound around it basically to hopefully improve the soil because it's very poor in this part of the garden, but this is going amazing and I'm really excited. I'm hoping the birds don't get all of our mulberries, and yeah, basically this is probably the best of our spring performers at this point in time, particularly if we do get some of those mulberries off it. So very exciting, but there's lots more in varying stages of kind of bloomage that we can have a look at. And just to give it a bit of a shout out, that's the white chatoot mulberry here in front of us. And it does have some really good leaf growth on it, some little blooms. And hopefully you can see there, I also mounded around that. It was perhaps wrong to call the mulberry our best spring performer. This white peach, I think white opal? Yeah, white opal peach was really blooming crazily even a month ago, and it's now covered in peaches. Now again, I think the birds may get them, but I'm just super excited that as a basically first time peach grower, this has gone absolutely insane. And we just bought it very discounted, and it has been absolutely gangbusters since we got it in winter. So really cool little addition to the garden. I'm not a big peach eater, but I think it's going to be a great one. Now, when it comes to sales tactics, I think probably the most effective one I have seen was our local fruit tree seller, the Fruit Tree Fella in Kendall. Basically, I went over there looking for stuff to add to the garden, and he had some persimmons that were in fruit, and he actually let me try some of the fruit, and I was amazed at how good it was, and so we bought 2. This one is now growing really well. It's got all these green shoots all over it. The other one, which is a bigger, taller tree and a different variety, has not yet gone into kind of that new growth, but I'm really excited to see this one going well because these 2 trees, we got a really special part of the garden set aside for them, and even down here there's really good growth coming off it, and I'm super excited basically to get these really productive and get some fruit off them. Maybe not this year or next year, but I'm certain at some stage because it's a very unusual fruit and something that I don't see in the shops very often. So ignore all the rubbish behind me. As you can hopefully see here in front of me is this little plum, which is covered in white blooms. And this did actually come good a little bit earlier than some of the other plants, and hence the flowers all over it. One of the really concerning things this spring and towards the end of winter has been just how few bees, flies, insects and things like that we've seen around. It's just very quiet on the bee front, and so I'm not sure how things are going to go, but we'll keep our fingers crossed, because last year in comparison there were hoverflies everywhere. There were millions of them, and to be honest I don't know if they really help, but we had a really vibrant kind of insect ecosystem going, where this year for some reason it's just not the case. So hopefully that changes as it warms up, but it is a little bit worrying. This is another super exciting tree for me. This is a little pomegranate, and I gotta say, I planted these, I put 2 in last year, and essentially speaking, towards the end of winter, they looked like 2 little branches that had fallen out of a gum tree and stuck into the ground. They looked absolutely dead. And then I come out one day and they were covered in much smaller growth. Obviously this has been out for a little while, a couple of days, and they've just exploded in this really beautiful new growth, which is a really nice green, but there's a real reddish tint to a lot of that new growth as well. Really stunning plant. Obviously in winter, not much to look at, but again, another thing that I'm really excited to get established, because again, pomegranates, You do see them for sale, but they tend to be quite expensive, and it just seems like a great thing to grow at home. So there you go. This might be a little bit of a funny one. This plum tree, and this is might be a Mariposa plum. I'm pretty sure it's a blood plum of some kind, which we're really keen to get a couple planted. It has this huge long growth coming up off the side of the tree, obviously not balanced at all. And so as a result, that still had leaves on it. I chopped it off, and I've come out a week later, and basically all of those other branches here have got new shoots on them, which is really good because we didn't want all the growth kind of disappearing off that direction. We do want it kind of a bit more consolidated, I think. I'm pretty sure these still have a vase kind of style is what you're aiming for. But all these little shoots here are amazing to see, and obviously more in the direction that we want things to be going. And most of the stuff that I have trimmed just a week or two ago that I was a little bit worried about because I'm a novice at trimming stuff heading into spring has gone really, really well and has shot and has bloomed and has blossomed exactly where I would have hoped and where the guides online have suggested would happen. And so that is really good to see. So I haven't destroyed everything. It's all heading in the right direction, or mainly heading in the right direction. Now, to be honest, we do have a little plum tree in here. We put in some discount plums that we just thought we'll see how we go. We have one of those in here in front, but what I'm actually looking at is this little native vine that's grown up that has these beautiful, beautiful flowers on it. And while it's just something nice to see and it's not really part of our productive garden, I'm really impressed by it. Okay, this is a funny old bush, I gotta say, or fruit. This is a, oh, get off my spider. This is a Carica pentagona, or a babaco, as they're also known. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because I reckon we bought this at least 4 months ago. I might be wrong about that. However, it doesn't really matter. What matters is look at the ball on this one. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we put this in ages ago, and it says the fruit, which is this thing here, will be ready to go when it turns yellow, and it has been months and it is still green. I don't know what's going on here. We're just going to leave it because the plant seems quite healthy, quite happy. Maybe heading into the warmer weather it will ripen, but it's kind of funny because I bought it with a big fruit on it thinking that's going to be ready pretty soon, couple of weeks maybe. Months and months later, it is still sitting there looking quite green, and yeah, no real change. I'm going to put the fence back around this one because I don't want something eating it. And yeah, something to keep an eye on. And sometimes patience does pay. Okay, they can't all be happy stories. This is my Asian pear, which is probably one of the fruits I'm most excited about. I'd say I like them more than apples. I like them more than regular mushy pears, which are bleh. Probably one of my favorite fruits. And this one here is looking real dead. We're going to give it a bit more time. It is planted in a harsher part of the garden, so maybe that's impacted it. I can see a little bit of green on some of these kind of blooms that are ready for the next season, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed. But at this stage, it's not looking too good. Not the end of the world. I did think I'd put some more pears in down near our apples, but this location here, I'm not so sure about for this particular tree. We'll see how we go. I was going to leave it there, to be honest, because basically ending on a down point is sometimes good, just to keep things realistic. However, what I've actually just seen here and realized, which is going really, really well, is this loquat. Now, this is not the first loquat we planted. We planted another loquat, a little one that I bought in a market very, very cheaply, and the wallabies got to it, and that's why this one is fenced off. The wallabies love loquat leaves for some reason. Anyway, kind of irrelevant to the point. This has got some amazing new growth on it, and this should become a really productive tree of something that I've never seen it sold anywhere. So very, very excited about this one as well. And also, it's a pretty hardy tree. And interestingly enough, there's a little spider here who looks like he's gotten another spider, another pest, and he's having a bit of a munch, so we're interrupting his breakfast. Let's move on, or I should say, that's the end of this video.